Hey guys, it's Danielle and welcome back to my channel and to a new video. In today's video I'm going to go through a few things that I did a lot more of during isolation, things that I did to occupy my time. As I'm filming this, we are still in isolation, at least where I live. First of all, with more time on my hands, I took the opportunity to read a lot more books and books that I had been meaning to read, such as Brave New World. It was great in giving my mind a temporary escape from so much stress, study and work. I think it's pretty obvious since I couldn't go out and waste my money at the mall. Instead, I spent money online, mainly on Amazon, a black hole full of interesting things. To quickly run through a few things that I bought and will be leaving a link to in my description if you're interested in them. 1. A no-waste pet hair roller for my bed. 2. A no-waste pet hair roller for my clothes. 3. Jared lovingly bought me a vinyl Animal Crossing themed skin for my Switch and I'm absolutely in love with already. 4. A lot of adapters and gadgets for my new Apple MacBook Pro that I bought a couple months ago. 5. A facial roller because, I don't know, I wanted to hopefully improve my skin in a way because it's been really acting up recently, especially during current quarantine for some reason. 6. And most recent of all was my laptop case because I was getting very stressed out without one and scared of something happening to such an expensive gift to myself, especially since my last laptop ended in serious water damage. During isolation I had time to start off my bullet journal once again. This is my third real attempt at one and hopefully this time it will last longer than 8 or so months like the last one, but it's definitely helped me stay focused and organised in a time where I have so much time that I can often get lazy and forget my responsibilities. I may start a bullet journal sort of series. Of course, we shouldn't put too much pressure on ourselves during this time, but I wasn't able to slack on my studies as the transition from in-person to online studies was actually quite smooth in my situation and manageable, therefore meaning semester would pretty much run as usual, which means along with all the relaxing I've been doing, I've also been studying a whole lot and submitting many assignments, which now from my perspective I'm actually pretty positive about. It means my education hasn't been affected very much and I get to continue my studies in a fairly constant way still, which I know there are a lot of people who haven't been as fortunate as me and I've been pretty lucky in that sense. It is the fact that I've spent a lot of time studying and getting headaches from so much studying because there's no real excuse because I'm here all the time doing nothing. Sure, you've heard of the new Animal Crossing New Horizons coming out on the Switch by now, which I was so excited about considering I have been playing this series since my DS Lite days and have followed along with Wild World, City Folk, New Leaf, Pocket Camp and finally New Horizons. There's no sane explanation for how many hours I've poured into this game, but the release date couldn't have been more fitting with our new schedule. Along with Animal Crossing, I have played a bit of some other games that I've in the past stopped playing, whether it be because of uni or work and just pure lack of time. But it showed me how useless I was now when trying to play Fallout 4 again. I've got to say, during quarantine, my body has felt so much better. Mostly because I've been able to take time in making my meals and enjoying them. Finally have time to make a cooked lunch full of veggies and a big dinner full of all my vegan staples. So I'm getting all my nutrients in finally instead of being that broke uni student that has no nutrients in her at all, which is a bit dangerous for a vegan. But I won't lie, there were still days where I simply just needed some 2-minute noodles. Finally, Jared and I have found some time at night to rewatch old favourite shows or even start new series that we've been meaning to start but haven't had time to because we couldn't justify the hours we've put into it when we have uni and work to attend to. My favourite of course being Shameless, which I'm literally on my 4th time around watching. During the day, as usual, I'm watching a lot of YouTube. My dog Fluffle has probably never been happier in her life than she has been in isolation. There's always someone at home to keep her company when we would usually be at work or uni. She doesn't understand why, but she's happy. Having so many pets is a blessing, especially right now with all the extra time I've been able to spend with them. My bunny and I have never been closer. My kittens are slowly getting more used to the bigger cats being the boss of the house, despite them not getting along at first. Plus at night, since it's been quite windy here in Australia, you'll never know a better cuddle than 4 cats and a dog in one bed.
Forgive me for my silence, 'cause I will try to play my part.
As I mentioned before, my skin lately has been having a rough time, so I've made time to use my masks and moisturizers and really set up myself with a skincare routine to try and cope. I'm hoping I'll see a result someday soon, but so far I haven't had too much luck. I've got a bunch of breakouts on my forehead and on my chin so far. Having a coffee machine at home has been a blessing but also a curse. As I started this quarantine with 3 or 4 coffees a day on a regular day just to fill in the pockets of boredom I had, I can safely say that I've now calmed down and responsibly only have 2 cups of coffee a day just for fun. It can't be that bad, right? We all have our own way of procrastinating studying, one of mine being seeing something that needs organising or tidying up and insisting it has to be done before I can begin studying. This has been a good choice in isolation since every 2 days my bedroom is back to looking like an earthquake hit it. I have no explanation why. I don't know how it gets so messy so fast. All I can say is with 2 adults and so many animals in one house and a lot of the time in the one room, I have to vacuum every 2 days. One thing about Fufu is she hates vacuums. Here you'll see she broke into my room as usual and refused to leave, but then freak out every time I turn on the vacuum, so I had to counsel her until she calmed down and got her out of the room, just until I finished vacuuming. Don't worry, she's a very good actor. Which brings me to my kittens that make the mess of their lives every time they use the litter box. It makes for a satisfying cleanup though. This is what happens after 1 day of my 2 one-year-old cats using a litter box. They do this every day. Cleaned out the water fountain and didn't realize it would spray so crazy when I turned it back on. So as Porter was patiently waiting for a drink of water from the fountain, the poor thing got sprayed in the face. That mini table thing you'll see on the floor, I actually use it as a footrest. That mini staircase is for Porta, since sometimes she has a bit of trouble getting onto the bed because of her 3 legs and very small body. I'm not the first to be doing a lot more baking now, but to be honest, it's just to fill in time and get a snack out of it to have during my study breaks. I haven't been making anything new or interesting though, just my usual favourites that are easy to make and of course all gone within the day when you live with 5 people. Started listening to my first audiobook during isolation, which has been really fun and a great way to get some reading in while I do other things like get ready in the morning or unwind at night. I find it great for when I just need some background noise while my eyes are occupied doing something else. But of course it'll never beat my love for reading physical books. Overall, there have been days when I went easy on myself and did nothing all day long, but there were also days where I pushed myself to get what I needed to do finished. Either way, there's no right way to do quarantine, so long as you're happy, even if that means scrolling through Instagram for hours instead of cleaning your dishes. Hopefully you're all staying safe and happy during this time and connecting to all your friends and family online through FaceTime and things like that. If you need an idea on what to do when there's nothing else to do, you can refer back to this video, I guess. So hopefully this video was entertaining for you and helpful in some way during this time. If it was, please leave a like, comment and subscribe down below and I'll see you next time. Bye!